Hey everyone, and welcome. For all of us working in pharmacies across Africa, there's one thing we're always striving for, right? A modern pharmacy that's not just efficient, but is, above all, safe for our patients. So today, we're going to dig into how you can actually build for quality, right from the ground up. Let's jump in. This quote from the World Health Organization, it's just so spot on. It really changes how you think about quality. See, quality isn't like a final exam you cram for at the end. Nope, it's something you have to bake into the cake from the very beginning. It's got to be in every single thing you do, from the second a patient walks through your door to the moment they walk out. Okay, so you've probably heard the term GMP thrown around, right? Good manufacturing practices. It sounds like something for a huge drug company, not for your local pharmacy. But really, all it means is having a system to make sure things are done right every single time. And for us in the pharmacy world, we have our own version, GPP, or Good Pharmacy Practice. It's the exact same idea, a total commitment to quality, just tailored for what we do every day. Okay, so we agree, quality needs to be built in. But how? What's the secret sauce? Well, it all comes down to your workflow. I want you to think of your workflow as the actual blueprint, the step-by-step plan that guarantees you get that quality, day in and day out. So what the heck is a workflow, really? Let's break it down. It's just a set of steps you follow in a specific order. That's it. It's the journey that, say, a prescription takes or that a patient takes from point A to point B. When you have a solid workflow, you know that every single step is going to get done in the right order with nothing falling through the cracks. Now, in any modern pharmacy, you're really juggling two kinds of workflows. On one hand, you've got the people workflows. That's the human element, right? It's you and your team guiding a patient, explaining their medication, that personal touch. But on the other hand, you've got automated workflows. This is where your systems do the heavy lifting, like, say, your software automatically warning you about drugs that are about to expire. The real magic happens when you get both of these working together perfectly. Okay, let's dive into our next section, designing your physical workflow, from blueprint to building. This is so important. Before we even touch a computer, we have to talk about the physical space. Your pharmacy's layout is literally the foundation. Get it right, and you create safety and efficiency. Get it wrong, and well, you're looking at chaos and a whole lot of risk. So, according to Good Pharmacy Practice, there are 3 zones that are totally non-negotiable. You have to have them. First up, the dispensary. This has to be a restricted, staff-only area. Why? To cut down on errors. It's that simple. Second, a private counseling area. And listen, this is not just a nice to have. It's a mandatory GPP requirement for patient privacy. And finally, number 3, a quarantine area. A clearly marked spot just for expired or damaged stuff, so it has zero chance of getting into a patient's hands. And that brings us to patient traffic flow. Just picture it. How does someone actually move through your pharmacy? The ideal journey is super logical. A clear entrance, right to the counter. From there, it's a natural next step to the counseling area. And then a clear path to the exit, no obstacles. Here's a pro tip for you, by the way, and it's a simple one. Don't put your fast-moving, high-traffic items right next to your prescription drop-off. That one small change can totally eliminate those frustrating bottlenecks. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about something that's absolutely critical for us in Africa, the environment. I'm talking about heat and humidity. These are the absolute enemies of medicine. They will break down the active ingredients, making drugs useless or even dangerous. Controlling your environment isn't a bonus feature. It is a core part of your job. So, let's talk numbers. For your main storage area, that dispensary, the temperature has to stay below 30 degrees Celsius. And honestly, below 25 is even better. Let me be really clear about this. For many of us, that means air conditioning is not a luxury. It's a fundamental requirement of good pharmacy practice. It's the only way to protect your medicines. And then, of course, there's the cold chain. You know what this is? It's for all those super sensitive products like vaccines. For these, the temperature range is incredibly strict, between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius. There is absolutely no wiggle room here. If that chain breaks, even for a short time, those life-saving medicines can become completely useless. All right, moving on to our third section, adding the digital layer. So, once you've nailed down that physical layout, it's time to add a digital layer on top. And look, the goal of tech isn't to replace anyone. It's to be your sidekick. It's there to support you, take over the boring, repetitive tasks, and just make your whole operation run that much smoother. And this is where something called a Workflow Management System, or WFMS for short, comes into play. Now, I know that sounds super technical and intimidating, but don't worry. All it is a digital tool that helps you manage all those steps we talked about. The analogies here are perfect. Think of it like a digital foreman on a construction site or a traffic cop at a busy intersection. It just keeps everything moving the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's get really practical. How does this actually help you? Well, think about your daily headaches. You've got two pharmacists who need the counseling room at the same time. A digital booking system solves that. A new staff member can't find a specific medicine. There's tech for that. It's like a GPS for inside your pharmacy. Tired of manually checking every single box for expiration dates? Let the system send you an automatic alert. And all that paperwork? Imagine it just being digitized and sent where it needs to go. See? Technology isn't some abstract idea. It solves real-world problems. And that brings us to our final section, the fully integrated pharmacy. This is the goal, right? It's about bringing everything together. You start with that core principle, that quality is built in. That idea shapes your physical layout, and then you lay that digital system on top to supercharge the whole thing. So if you're going to remember just 3 things from our time together today, make it these. First, everything starts with the mindset that quality is built, not inspected. Second, get your physical space right. I'm talking safety, patient flow, and controlling that environment. And third, layer on those smart digital tools to help your staff and get rid of the busy work. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a little homework. Just think about it. Based on what we've talked about, what's the one thing? It could be tiny, it could be huge, physical or digital. What's the one improvement you could make in your pharmacy, starting tomorrow, to build in just a little more quality? Thanks so much for joining me. I really hope this has given you some great ideas for taking your pharmacy to the next level.